Good evening. My name is Tasha May. I'm a lifelong Washingtonian, an LD48 PCO, 20 years of navigating Washington state system as a single mom, and now the chief advocate of Advocacy Queen. I want to acknowledge the tough decisions you face with your budget. I also want to commend you. This budget reflects investments in important studies on homelessness, senior housing, and even health delivery models. That shows your commitment to thoughtful, data-informed policy. That's why I'm here testifying to urge you to restore the $1 million proviso for the Charles Mitchell study on reparative action. And yes, I am a verified descendant of U.S. chattel slavery. This is about historical truth and sound policy. The study gathers facts, not guilt, and it focuses on lineage and not race. I also want to encourage you guys to understand the importance of studying before spending, because that is true fiscal responsibility. We must examine the legacy and impacts of slavery, that same discipline that you apply to every other study. Therefore, I urge you to amend the budget and include this study. Thank you.
Thank you. Bill Pickett, please. Bill Pickett, Kim Ford, and Deborah O'Neill, please come forward. And please go right ahead.
Good evening, Chair Robinson. With really one simple goal, and that is
70, and
with really one simple goal, and that is simply to say thank you to each and every one of you for funding ongoing with really one simple goal.
Hi, my name is Deborah O'Neill, and I'm a member of the Seattle King County NAACP Freedmen Affairs Committee, and also one of the co-founders of American Renewal 1870. And I'm here for the Charles Mitchell Reparations study that you omitted from your budget. I am asking that you put it back into your budget, and that Washington State has always been a leader in progress, and Seattle stands out for its courage to challenge the status quo. I urge the Senate to reinstate this proviso in the budget and vote in its favor. Together, let's take a decisive step toward closing the wealth gap for the freedmen population and reaffirm our commitment to meaningful change. Thank you.
Thank you. Blaise Vincent, Dominique Davis, and Chanice Keogh. You can go ahead and start.
You on this side, Blaise. You go first.
Good evening. I'm Blaise Vincent, President of Freedom Project. Today, I urge our Washington State legislatures to include in this budget the allocation of $1 million for the state's first ever reparations study, focusing on the descendants of U.S. chattel slavery. This initiative represents a pivotal step towards acknowledging and addressing the enduring impacts of slavery in our state. By funding this study, we can thoroughly examine historical injustices and their present-day consequences, laying the groundwork for informed policies that promote equity and justice. Organizations like American Renewal 1870 play a crucial role in this endeavor. Their dedication to educating the public about authentic American history, including the realities and repercussions of chattel slavery, is invaluable. Their efforts to ensure that the narratives of those who endured these injustices are recognized and remembered, and this reparations study will support these narratives. In conclusion, by supporting this proposal, we not only confront our past, but also commit to a more just and inclusive future for all Washingtonians. Thank you.
Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job.
No outbreaks in the hearing room, please.
Hi, I'm Dominique Davis. Thank you for having me, letting me testify today. I'm not going to be as polished as this young man. I'm just going to speak off the top. This country's wealth was built off the backs of black slavery. 400 years of free slavery, any country or any business is going to be successful. There's generational wealth that was generated behind our trauma and our pain. Right? Now we're just sitting here asking for you to put $1 million into a budget just to do a study. just to study the issues, just to study how much wealth we brought to this country and all the pain we went through. There's all these other races and ethnicities that have not suffered nowhere close to what black people have for 400 years, and they get reparations one way or another. We're the only ones out here flapping in the wind, begging and asking just for a study? That's kind of outrageous to me that we're sitting here asking for you to put some money behind a study. We need to start putting some legs behind this and actually give us some reparations to show us that we brought wealth to this country, and we all know we did. Thank you.
Thank you. Shanice Keogh, if you're here. Portia Drummer, Madison Mangine. If any of you are here, please come forward. Jesse Wineberry, Kim Bradford, and Zahid Lynch.
Madam Chair, Vice Chairs, and members of the committee, my name is Jesse Wineberry, formerly Representative Jesse Wineberry. I have sat in a way where you are, except down the hall. And so I understand what you've gone through in this budget shortfall period, but without repeating what you've already heard, I'll just accentuate a few things. The proviso is waiting for you. They have the proviso in the House, and we just are asking that someone on the Senate side balance it off with your committee. And finally, we need to let you know that if you haven't read H.R. 4321 in the Congress, you need to. They are saying that this is the only time you'll be able to do this. If that law passes, it specifically says states will be prohibited from funding any reparations program, and risk losing their federal dollars if they violate it. If that passes, and you know they have the votes in Washington, D.C. to do so, we will be stripped of the opportunity after this year. And so we ask that you allow us to do the funding, and also make sure you read the end of the proviso where we've already committed to go raise the rest of the money ourselves from private and public philanthropic foundations. So we understand your dilemma. We're willing to dig in and go raise our money and make sure there's a public-private partnership on this study. Thank you.
Good evening, Chair Robinson and committee members. I'm Kim Bradford. I'm the Deputy Director of the Public Disclosure Commission. Thank you for supporting the PDC through many years in its mission of
Thank you. Schools. I'm a mother. I'm a
Zahid Lynch, if you're here, please come forward. Tara Kinsey, Shalise Seacrest.
Do you want to go first? Okay. Good evening, Senate, House. Thank you for hearing the matter, and thank you for having us. My name is Tara Kinsey. I am a teacher, Seattle Public Schools. I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother. Also, I'm a descendant of a chattel slave that is still alive, actually. She's 99. My mother was named after her slave owners. I would only ask that you consider the struggle that our generations have endured, and consider putting back 1.5, maybe even 2 million back into the budget so that we can continue to do the work that we have done. I have heard in the community that, well, if you get reparations, what's going to happen with that? You guys all know what we have done without reparations. Imagine what we could do with it. We are stronger and better together, and I would ask for you to consider to reinstate the funds. Thank you.
I'd like for you to take a moment just to look at the black faces inside of this room. Know that we've come here to Olympia to collect a check. My name is Attorney Shalise Seacrest. I am the president of the state NAACP, and I am encouraging you all to fund the proviso for the Washington State Reparations Study. I understand that you all are faced with an enormous challenge of funding much needed programs. in that in your ability to fund equitably, you are trying to find housing solutions, education solutions, believing that a rising tide will lift all boats. However, in this case, when it comes to Black folks in America, we know that Black people are on that sinking Titanic, that we have to be deliberate. It's not a matter of funding one or the other. This is a both and it's something that we cannot delay. This is the urgency of now. Black people are fighting for their lives. Fund the Washington State Reparations Study. Fund it now. Thank you.
Thank you. Mark Struley, Christopher Ellis, and Davida Ingram, please come forward. After them, David Heppard, Paula Sardinas, and Sarah Robbins.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair Robinson, members of the committee. Mark Struley here today on behalf of the Northwest District Council of Ironworkers and the International Union of Painters and Allied Trades. Here today, we signed
comprehensive work in a tough budget year. We would ask for
those dollars so that they can continue to do that
comprehensive work in a tough budget year. We would ask Robinson or other committee members and staff at your discretion on those few changes. Thank you.
Thank you. David Heppard and Paula Sardinas, if you're here.
Every day to and from. If you need it.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the committee. For the record, Paula Sardinas representing the Washington Build Back Black Alliance and 1,000 buy and for organizations. First of all, testifying other on the budget tonight. There are so many good things in this budget that we want to thank you for. Tonight we are testifying other because the CRP is not funded at $200 million. We want to thank Senator Saldana for codifying this in 2022, making sure that communities who bore the brunt of the discrimination because of the war on drugs were prioritized, and that there were 17 programs across Washington state that received the funding. You are currently funding this at 30% of the allocation. We would ask you to restore that fund to $200 million to make sure that those folks who have borne the brunt of discrimination, who are facing federal cuts in their communities, can have those dollars so that they can continue to do that good work. Thank you.
Absolutely. David Heppard, do my community work through the Black Rose Collective. And I just wanted to speak to two issues. I think that it's important for the reparations study to happen. And I hope that folks can really look at that and place that back into the budget. And also the CRP, or the Community Reinvestment Plan funding. I think that a lot of great work came out from getting invested in from that work. And I think that the work that was happening through the Community Healer grants and through the reentry grants, being able to resource community members in times of great harm and trauma as far as reentering back into our community or impacted by gun violence, I think it's important and it's integral, and it really adds to the solutions in our community. And so I implore that folks re-look at that as well. We do absolutely need that $200 million. I would also say that if that isn't an option, then I would ask at least fund it up to what the House budget was, which was at least 50. And so thank you for your time, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. Going to remote testimony now, Davida Ingram.
Good afternoon, everyone, for the Senate. My name is Davida Ingram, and I am asking for us to support the reparations study proviso. We are asking for it to be fully funded, and we ask for the support to come from both the Senate and the House. We thank everyone for the ways that you've been working hard for the budget, but as you heard previously, doing support without supporting direct descendants of U.S. chattel slavery doesn't do the work that we need to do at this present moment. Please do your part to add the study back into your budget. And also thank you to everyone who stood up to speak today to ask that we address why the proviso wasn't included in the budget. Thank you.
Thank you. Sarah Robbins.
Good Good evening, Chair Robinson and members of the committee. My name is Sarah Robbins. I'm the Director of the Office of Civil Legal Aid. I'm testifying as other on this proposed budget. I want to start by saying thanking the committee for recognizing the importance of vendor rate adjustments. This allows our legal aid contractors to continue to operate at current levels of service. Two other points. The amount allocated for the long-term care appointed counsel is not quite enough for
Robinson or other committee members and staff.
And his program. This program is a
We have 5 local governments that want to use their limited resources to develop software needed to improve permitting, and they've
the Public Works Board.
Dollars for remediation, which
The Public Works $0.9 billion.
Hi, this is
We appreciate their efforts to find a
Tax revenues. The
Implementation is
Check this out of
long-term sustainable
reparations,
funding.
folks.
at 3.5 million
Nope.
level, and that really scares
Nope.
many countries to participate
Nope.
in tourism that has allowed us
Nope.
can help you to meet those needs.
Okay.
Strong tourism efforts bring more visitors who
Shut up. All right. So that was all our reparations testimonies at the Senate Ways and Means Committee meeting yesterday. I'm going to go find the other one. There was another same time meeting going on in another room. We might have more testimonies. I'll go find them. Peace.